Guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute. I want to talk to you guys about abs and why 92% of men will never see their abs, and I want you to be the exception to that. Now, before I move on, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss more videos like this in the future, so you don't miss my shorts, and so honestly we can grow together, because 413 Barbell Club is about being a community of believers that are like-minded, and we need to band together in the fitness industry, not all go in our own separate little corners. And that's what I've seen in the past with Christians, and that's why I felt compelled to start this brand almost 10 years ago. And I'm proud of what it's become, but I'm excited about what it's going to become. Speaking of, I've got a free resource for dads. It's in the link below. It's a blueprint. I call it the Biblical Body Blueprint. And it's about how to build your body and mind biblically, because I think the Bible is one of the best books for bodybuilding, which may be a wild thing to say, but just check out the blueprint. You'll see what I mean. Also, if you want to take more action, I've got the 413 method. It's just $47 a month, and you can apply for one-on-one coaching. If there's no spots available now, I'll put you on the wait list. You can get in as soon as I have spots come open. But abs aren't just some fancy, thing you get from doing fancy ab work and crunches and Russian twists and leg raises. Yeah, they can help build your abs a little bit more, but there's so much more to it than that, guys. And I'm sure you all know, I know, Doug, I have to eat in a caloric deficit, and I've been doing that. I've been losing this amount and that amount. Like, we've been oversimplifying this for a long time. Yeah, a caloric deficit is important, but you've got to do more than just eating a caloric deficit, dads. There's a system to it, because I could eat in a caloric deficit and it will work for maybe 7-8 weeks. But guess what happens? Could I get these dads reach out to me all the time? You hit a wall, and then what? I'd already eaten just 45 grams of fat a day. I've already cut my carbs to 120, 100 grams. I'm already eating 180, 200, 220 grams of protein. What now? You can't dig when you've already hit bottom. So let me give you some steps to help you out. So first of all, prioritize food over training. When I have guys, and this happens about half the time when people join my program, they're not meal prepping. They're not weighing their food. Little things like that they say they don't have time for, but they're going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I'm gonna cut one of those workouts and we're gonna meal prep. And we're gonna meal prep weighing our food cooked, because 5 ounces of, if I say eat 5 ounces of ground turkey, you weigh it out raw, sure, it's 5 ounces, but then you cook it, it's gonna be like 3.7, 3.8 ounces. And it's lost some fat in the cooking process, remember that. So just remember, weigh your foods cooked, except for like oatmeal. And you don't need fad diets, you just need to eat whole foods, because tracking macros, what I see a lot of people do is they track their macros, but then they're way short on fiber. They're way short on micronutrients, because they're just piecing together, thinking carbs, fats, and protein like a robot. It's so much more than that. Eat whole foods. And then when you sit down to eat protein first, I'm not saying eat like a 3-year-old that eats one thing at a time and doesn't let the foods mix. No offense if you're the person that does that. But I'm just saying, you need to try to fill up on protein first, try to fill up on vegetables as well, and save those starchy carbs, whether it's a potato, rice, a roll, pasta, whatever carb you're choosing, try to save it for last so you don't fill up on that first. Because we want to stop eating when we're 80% full. And it's biblical. The Bible says to steward our body well, and by eating well, we're not just thinking about tracking macros, we're thinking about fueling our body, making ourselves the healthiest version of ourselves we can be. Step 2, we want to strength train smarter. A lot of you guys go in the gym and you're turning weightlifting into cardio. And I'm on a cut, so I'm going to burn more. I'm going to do high reps. And you break a sweat more, you get your heart rate up more, but you're also going to lose muscle that way. I can't tell you how many times I've tried that back in the day, and I cut. And then when I cut, what happens? I go to high reps. When you go to high reps, all that dense muscle you built, it just disappears. The same way you built your strength, that's the same program you need to use when you go on a cut. Honestly, my first competition I still did my 5x5 training on a lot of my lifts right up until the week of the show. That's going to be what, you have to fight tooth and nail to hang on to that muscle when you're doing a lot of cardio and you're in a diet. Dude, don't make that mistake of turning weightlifting into cardio. Get in the gym, lift heavy, and get out let the diet do most of the heavy lifting for fat loss. And one more thing on training, quit hammering your abs when you're like in that last bit of the cut. You're not building muscle, all you're doing is fatiguing your back. If you want to hammer your abs, do it in the off season when you're in a surplus. That's when you can build your muscle in the abdomen and the abs just like any other muscle group. And step 3, we got to cut the excuses, guys. Like, listen, everybody's busy. Everybody's got a lot going on. Nobody wants to wake up early. Nobody wants to go to bed early. But it's all things you're going to have to do if you want to prioritize seeing your abs. You got to do something different if you want to get a different result. So track calories if you need that structure. If not, if you want to do like me, just take an intuitive approach. But whatever approach you do, go in 100%. Get your steps in, but just like I said, don't turn your weightlifting into cardio. And don't start with saying 10,000 steps. If you're getting 5,000 steps now, work with 7,000 for a while, then go to 8,000 or 9,000, then go to 10,000. Wait until you hit a little bit of a plateau before you make an adjustment though. Don't make too big of an adjustment too early, because you're going to dig yourself in a hole and there'll be nowhere else to go. Hey, and just one little note about this, in everything in this cut, do it intentionally, do it like with care for your body, because your kids are watching, and I don't want to see you doing anything drastic, anything you wouldn't want your son or daughter to do. You know what I mean? So if you wouldn't want your son walking up to you saying, hey, I cut carbs completely, don't cut carbs completely. If you wouldn't want your son coming up to you saying, hey, I'm on the carnivore diet, I'm pretending I'm a wild animal, not eating fiber, then don't do that. That's dumb, you know? Like, take a balanced, realistic, reasonable approach that you are modeling to your kids. But it just comes from consistent daily action. Don't forget to have a treat meal maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, just to give yourself something to look forward to and to let yourself breathe socially on date nights and stuff like that. Okay, be reasonable. It's a marathon, not a sprint. If this helped, hit like and subscribe, because I'm rooting for you. I want to see you hit that goal and walk around shirtless, no problem, abs, flat stomach, just wearing a tank top more confidently, whatever it is. Let's get there this summer. Follow me on social media, like and subscribe. Hope you guys have a blessed day.